Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Ultimate MuckMan from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line from NECA Toys. Once again, they have given us this fantastic packaging made to look like one of the old VHS cassettes from FHE. You can see NECA is done here in the FHE logo, and the name of the cassette is Muck Everlasting. That's a fantastic title. Cover looks fantastic. Over here on the back, again, you have the back made to look like one of the back of the old VHS cassettes. And in place of the screenshots from the episodes, they just have pictures of the figure. Of course, he does come with Joe Eyeball, his faithful companion. Go ahead and open this up. You get a really nice picture of the figure over here on this side. And then you can see a window into the figure itself over here. He does come with like a barrel of slime. You can see it here on the figure. I'm not going to be messing with that. I don't really like slime. I don't want it to kind of get all over the figure, so I will not be showcasing that. You can see it's kind of a radioactive container here, but I will not be messing with that during the review. I kind of like to keep the figures not covered in slime. So I'm going to go ahead, get them out of the packaging here, and we're going to take a closer look. So here, MuckMan and Joe Eyeball out of the packaging, and they did a great job. This guy looks absolutely fantastic. The head sculpt is really great. You can see he's got the banana peel on top of his head. He's got like a bug here on his forehead. He's got a clothespin over the nose. Now he does come with a different mouth accessory. So basically how this works is it's just a big peg like this. It's kind of a pain to pull the old mouth out, but then you can just swap it so you get two different mouth options here. This is the one that came with the packaging, but I like this one better, so I switched it out. You can see he's got an apple core. He's got, I'm assuming this is a mirror, just all kinds of trash just molded into his chest here. Head is on kind of a limited hinge. And then you can kind of get some side-to-side movement out of it as well. You have a hinge here for the shoulder. You have a bicep swivel, which sometimes it's kind of difficult to get the actual bicep itself to move. There we go. So you have the bicep swivel there. You have a double jointed elbow. You have a swivel and a hinge in the wrist, and he does come with some alternate hands, so he comes with kind of just like outreaching, kind of grabbing hands. He comes with a little bit more closed hand over here for the left hand, and then he's got a trigger finger hand over here for the right, because he comes with this large blaster, which actually fits really nicely into that trigger finger hand. And the nice thing about this is the trigger finger hand is a little bit malleable, so it's kind of easy to get this in, and then you can bring this around. And it's a little difficult to get the trigger finger into the trigger for the gun. But if you can just kind of get it to pop up a little bit. And sometimes I just kind of use like little tweezers or something just to kind of move this and get it to fit. But once you get it in there, it really fits nicely. And then you can just pop out the old hand. Now, I'm surprised the pegs are so small for this, but it shouldn't be an issue. So if we go ahead and pop this hand out, we'll see how difficult this turns out to be. Oh, okay, Joe Eyeball jumped ship, but that wasn't too bad. Kind of freaked me out there. It almost sounded like it was going to break, but so far, so good. And then we'll go ahead and pop this in here. And kind of a surprising amount of force, but got it in there. And he looks really great holding that gun. I think he looks absolutely fantastic holding that. So the little trash can accessory here just has this little hook, and there's this little space on his back, and it really just kind of fits in there very nicely. Just kind of pops down and fits on there great. And you can see it's fairly deep, so if you wanted to pour that ooze in there, you absolutely could. Otherwise, you can just kind of pop Joe Eyeball in here. And taking a quick look at Joe, he's just a tiny little figure. He doesn't have a ton of articulation. Really, the head's just on a ball joint. So front to back, little tilt side to side. Of course, it can look side to side as well. But just really nicely detailed. The eyes look great. He's got kind of these like little marks up here on the forehead. The inside of the mouth is painted a little bit. You can see it's kind of hard to show up, but the inside of the mouth is painted red. He's got the teeth. And then he's got the two hands and kind of the two tentacles and the little tail. But there's no articulation for any... Well, actually, I'm wrong. Oh, I didn't even see this before. He actually has hinges. Do these move? No. Okay, so it was very easy to miss because they're very tiny. I missed them at first, but there's actually a hinge and a rotation in the upper arms. But I don't think these bottom arms move at all. and I know the legs and the tail do not. But still, for a figure this tiny to have the neck and the arm articulation here, that's more than I was expecting. So he's a really fun little tiny figure. And he's just a little sidekick. If you remember back in the day with the original figures, you got the actual figure, and then a lot of them came with little sidekicks that were just one solid piece of like PVC plastic. And most of the time they weren't even painted. So this guy's got all this detail really nicely painted. I love him. He looks fantastic. And he just fits in here. He kind of has to lean back. I mean, I guess you could kind of use those two bottom ones to kind of have him perch. So if you wanted to actually like pop up over the shoulder, you can use those. But if you wanted to actually sit down in there, he would kind of have to lean back. But it's kind of neat that they have kind of those little grips there so they can kind of hang on to the edge of the trash can so he can kind of pop up and be over his shoulder like that. Continuing on with the articulation, you have kind of a ball joint here in the diaphragm, so you get a little bit of movement there. With the hips, you can kind of kick forward, kind of kick back, kick out to the side. I believe there's a thigh swivel in there as well, but it's kind of hard to get at. And Joe just fell out again. There we go. This one's moving. So yeah, there is a thigh swivel in there. The double jointed knees on mine are very tight. I was able to move these, but they're super, super tight. This one, I'm having trouble with the top for this knee, so I'm just going to let it go. But he does have double jointed knees. And then he has two different size feet, so you can kind of see the trash can molded into this foot. And he's got like a can or a cup or something there. Or maybe that's a spray bottle. I'm not quite sure exactly what that's supposed to be. But he's got a hinge and a rocker in this foot. And then over here, he actually does have, even though this foot is really just kind of like a mound of sludge, he does have a rocker. And you can see it's mounted onto the manhole cover. So, and I don't know, is that a tube of toothpaste or something? I'm not sure exactly what's molded in there. But let me go ahead and get Joe back on here. So he looks really great. They did a nice job with him. The detail in the molding is really, really great. Really, really nicely done with that. I love the blaster. Like I said, he looks great holding it. Fits very nicely into that trigger figure hand. And then he does come with the barrel of slime or ooze or mutagen, whatever you want to call it, but I am not going to be messing with that. So, not a ton of accessories. I mean, when you think about it, he comes with the, well, if you do count the sludge, I guess, but the extra mouth and then the one set of hands. But honestly, it's more than enough. I don't really need any more than that. Just all the love and the molding and the detail they put into this, and the paint applications look really good. And he's got a great amount of articulation. And honestly, the best accessory he could ever come with is Joe Eyeball, because they did a really nice job on that. That's also got a lot of great paint and molded detail. Not a ton of articulation, but again, it's a smaller side figure, so I wasn't really expecting that much. I thought the head was going to be it, and I just found out about the arms, so that's really fantastic as well. So I recommend this guy. He should start showing up at Target. I actually got mine online at the NECA store, but I don't believe they're selling them there anymore, but they should definitely be at your local Target. All of the cartoon figures are Target exclusives, so that's where I would definitely check. And I had a friend actually find some near him in California recently, so they definitely are out. So check your local Target, but in the meantime, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.